Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shall endure to the end.
The world said fuck us,
shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in streams, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would have done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room and pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't tripping on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's with the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings all feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm Wild West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse the imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. See that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas say they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a stepper and a roller. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush, The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Yeah, at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? From World West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die. Skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Hold on. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. We at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm World West, go to war with everybody.
Seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spit shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pot. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I did. See a man reach out to God before he died? Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile ass. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets but the truth made me a man. Shit I don't really speak cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Ay, I don't give a lovely fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a lovely fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad at this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, put through the baddest conditions. I'm fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she got to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit till I go make some business from scratch. She bitching the different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some way. I will never take up as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh, Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in it with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we special now with the scriptures. Play, we gon' scratch from, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I assemble the Glock with the slide for real. I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got 9s, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all don't fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
On the YouTube Music app, you can bump your fave songs in the background while you do stuff in the foreground.
I will wait.
Dirty Bird.
Buckroll. Wait on.
I'm no more. It's shocking.
I will wait.
Yeah. I've been feeling how I'm feeling like. Fuck how niggas feeling. I've been waiting my turn. Walking through the pits of hell, still feeling the burn. At 3 in the morning when I'm tossing the turn. Shorty gripping me tight, tell me it'll be alright. I'm gripping the pistol, having visions of death. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of death. I'm in the alley with the scully on tilt. I'm ready to pull his homie, conflicted in heart. spent too much time in the midst of the dark. I'm itching in this truth just to play my part. On a Saturday in the depths of the dark, where the zombies walk. Times Square, let the scriptures bark, and the generals talk. Fishing for that young man or the princess he called before the reapers involved. Show your chariots, Lord, dead in the middle of their war. Let your trumpets blow, revelations reveal. Let the sky crack wide, show the color of Christ. Let me watch the descent before I enter my chamber. Allow me to enter the chamber. See, the truth is amazing. Hoping, wishing, and praying. I earn my place in the kingdom. Plant my feet on the pavement. Put my brick in them chasing for the crown of this promise. For that crown of this promise.
Right. Sure is.
44.
Sure is. We wait for instructions and orders in these truths, man. Wise man once told me seek counsel. Never rely on your own understanding. It's not. This UPK, the heart different. Black on black boots ain't forces to walk different. Muscle energy at 1,000 to spark different. And learned about the scriptures from generals taught different. Game bred pit with grip, the bark different. Priests and officers, we captains to talk different. Proper side of the wind, and I endure to the end. Strap cause niggas rock Christ and ain't nothing to him, but check it. In your city, we them niggas on the corner. And all black changed men that put away the former. We militant, discipline, is niggas that's in order. We shield swinging off our neck and fringes on the borders. Born rugged in these streets, learned the codes and the politics. And I ain't wait for the Lord, he got me out of it. Hood nigga, hard knock alumni with scholarship. Big Glock was up on my hip, up in them colleges. And you ain't saved if you a Christian and you waiting on it. Heaven not by observation, go and take that moment. Cause your faith is in your work while you debating on it. I'm enduring to the end, this Glock ain't got no safety on it.
Sure don't. Can't wait till the Most High come and open these skies up and let Yahweh come down here and bomb these motherfuckers. Bombing all these heathens. Their time is up.
I can't wait, though I feel conflicted. Mind shifted to the point I gotta check my spirit. Eyes lifted to the hills like a Howard there. So potent, so strong, just feel it in the air. If we don't hearken, as poor judgment would disappear. He's all seeing, all knowing, you don't want to visit. Whether short wave or long range, his aim is vivid. We can't run, can't hide, he'll come and get us. There's no test, no rest in this war business. I'm on the corner with my brothers and my garment on. Mic in my hand, chanting white man's the devil song. Provoking spirit in my people to get our gather on. Shots fired at hellfire, we get our Bible on. Wanna eat, find the menu in Leviticus. Learn to walk, talk scriptures here, this is how to fish. Hit the ground, running hard. We staying on our job, cause Babylon is falling. Like the song that we made for y'all. We live and die for this shit. There's no plan B. We the Lord's sheep. The Lord's chosen would never flee. If it's not for the Most High, we would never be.
Never be. Stand the fuck up. Or sit the fuck down. Either you winning or you losing. Somebody telling the truth and somebody telling a lie. Who telling a lie? Wake the fuck up. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. Know better, do better. Dirty bird. You heard?
My mic was muted. Let me run that back. With the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of Israel per the Bible. Priest and Officer Yashala holding down his law class for Priest and Officer Kashaka War. Shout out to my brothers in the chat. Shalom Yahabashim Yahushua Barakatah. And for the Akwathium, Shalom Yahweh Shemal Alathim Bashim Yahushua. See my brother also the Kun, the milkman himself in the building. Got young man Hector and my sister from Louisiana, Most High in Christ. It's the law class, y'all. We can pick any topic. It's the law class. Y'all got any precepts? Y'all need broken down, anything like that? Let me know. Type them in the chat. I'll give y'all a minute before I get started with my topic. Another glorious day, another day on in this oppression on this God-forsaken earth. The Lord is good. Let's see. Slovakia. The law is something that we have, but we don't follow as a people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got so complacent, right? And what we do is we follow the law. We follow the laws of man, and that's not right. I did have that precept off the top of my head, but I'm gonna pull it anyway. We follow the laws of man instead of the laws of the Most High God, right? And this is why we end up in the punishments that we have now on earth. Slovakia. Type that in. Yeah. I think it's that first one. Slovakia, I'm trying going through the precepts. Let me see which one it is. Yeah, there it is. All right. Forgot I'm going blind. Slovakia. I'm gonna put my eyes on right quick. I tell you, they tell you everything when you were a kid except getting old sucks. Let's see. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. As a matter of fact, it's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. Meaning, why would you worship a creation and not worship the creator? Because if the creator made it, like this earth that we live in, the air we breathe, the land we stand on, and so forth, why would we want to give credit to a creator and not give credit to the creation? That's what I'm not understanding. There we go. I was wondering why everything was looking backwards. I'm like, why everything look backwards? Slovakia. That's more like it. If the background looks straight to y'all and not backwards, put a 1 in the chat, because I was trying to figure it out for the life of me. I was having some brief technical issues earlier, but I got them straight now. But yeah, Peter and the other apostles said and answered and said, is we ought to obey God rather than man, right? For the simple fact, if you don't follow the Most High God, you'll face punishments Yeah, you could be penalized by man. They could throw you in jail. Christ was in jail before. Christ was locked up before. They ain't about nothing. You understand? Black people get locked up all the time. They ain't about nothing. 3 hots in the cot and 3 square meals. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't follow the Most High God, it's about a young man, Hector. If you don't follow the Most High God could do more than unalive you. Like, don't get me wrong. Slakia. The white man could unalive you. Yes, he absolutely can. But you know what the Most High could do far worse than unalive you? The Most High God could remove you, mind, body, and spirit from Earth. He could stop you from reincarnating. He could make sure you don't never come back, or you gotta wait, or he might send you right back in a worse predicament that you was in. He might send you back. He might send you back. He could send you back deaf, dumb, blind, and crippled. Like you could be extremely disabled in a real bad predicament with nobody there to help you or protect you or make sure you well taken care of. You understand? Like the Most High could do you so many kinds of dirty, it's ridiculous. And we got the audacity to fear the white man over the Most High God. That's no bueno. That is no bueno. Like, who is the white man when it comes to the Most High God? The Most High God made them. Yes, they're the most subtile beasts of the field. Yes, this is their kingdom. Yes, they were gifted with the sword. Yes, all of that, right? But here's the thing. We're the Lord's chosen, right? We're the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's something that we must remember, right? And the fact that we don't know this and the fact that we don't remember it is the reason why we're in the harsh, diresome conditions that we're in now, for the simple fact we don't know who we are. So of course we don't know our history. We don't know our identity. We don't know who our God is. We don't know who to serve. And this is why a lot of people end up worshiping false deities, other gods. And that also falls in line with laying with other heathens when that's an abomination to the Lord thy God. You understand? We're not allowed to lay with white women or women that lie with white men, right? We're not allowed to lie with Arabs or East Indians. And there's no discredit or disrespect to the other nations. It's not that there are not any beautiful women out there or anything like that, because there are some halfway decent Asian women, halfway decent Arab women, and there's a couple of cute white women out there in the world. But just because they look good don't mean that we can dwell with them. The Lord said for us to not lie with them, right? Hey, young man Hector, you jumping ahead of my class, brother. I got that in my precept book. You understand? You jumping ahead, brother. I know you on point. You jumping ahead. I ain't get to that precept yet. I'm gonna get to it though. You moving too fast. Easy. I'll get to that one shortly though, but bear with me. Like, you know, Solomon had over 700 wives and 300 concubines, right? And a lot of them were not just part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Solomon wilded out. Solomon, he slept with all nations. He done had Hamites. He done had Edomites. He done had Japhites, Ishmaelites. Like, he done had a little bit of all the flavors. He didn't care. That 3-inch slit was that 3-inch slit. That's all that mattered to Solomon. Solomon said, damn that. I'm going to get that. Solomon said, I'm going to get that milk of magnesia. You understand? And that right there in itself, right? This is why it's important that we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, because even Solomon was
drifting away from the Most High and the law, statutes, and commandments, because with having wives that's from other nations, they have their own customs, they have their own culture, they have their own belief system, right? And being that you lay and you dwell with them and such, you're subjected to eventually at some point opening your ear and opening your mind, you understand, to their belief system and their ideologies and their customs. Eventually, at some point, you're gonna be exposed to it. You understand? And like we brought out in class yesterday, you can't fill your brain reading everything. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna poison your flesh by doing that. Trying to read Islam, trying to learn Christianity, try to learn Roman Catholic. You know what I mean? It's like you try to Egyptology, Scientology, and all that. You try to learn all these different things. You're gonna poison yourself. You're gonna damage your flesh in that sense. You understand? Now, in the book of John, chapter 14, verse 6, this is an example of what I'm saying, right? It says, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. You understand? This is what it means to not follow another nation, follow another heathen and their beliefs and their God and who they believe and whoever they answer to as far as a higher power. You understand? The Lord, Christ is saying, he saith unto him, I am the way, I'm the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Meaning, I'm your plug. I'm your connection to the Father. Because my Father is your Father. We got the same Father. We got the same spiritual Father. You understand? He's the Most High God. I'm the plug. You want to get to him, you got to come to me. I could get you a sit down with Big Homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist of it. Like, you know, by going through Christ, by following Christ, by keeping the law, statutes, commandments, he'll get you close. You'll get closer to the Most High God. As long as you listening and following behind Christ and letting him teach you and guide you, you'll get closer to the Most High God with no problem. You understand? Let's see where else. Because you know, I'm trying to show by example that, you know, it don't pay to follow false gods and other nations, because, you know, Chinese got certain customs, Japanese have certain customs, East Indians have certain customs, and not only that, you know, and I don't mean this in no derogatory way when I say this. We all have something about us as a nation of people, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have distinct characteristics about us. You understand? And these distinct characteristics is what draws us to one another. You understand? This is why opposites do attract. You understand? Like Black, Hispanic, Native Indian men automatically attract to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, and vice versa, right? We have a certain type of essence about us. Just like when a girl walk by and she smell your cologne, she not just smelling your cologne that's intoxicating. She's smelling those pheromones. You understand? She's smelling that masculinity on you. You know what I'm saying? You walk around with the light of Christ, being a priest of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And then you smell it good, and you got the light of Christ on you at the same time. Like, you know, you draw that attention from women. You know what I'm saying? Like women draw the things like that. Like they attract themselves to things like that. You know, people in the world say a bunch of bull doohickey to try to basically say what I just said, because they'll sit there and say, oh, you got to think it into existence, and once you think it, it comes to fruition, and your thought becomes a manifestation. Your manifestation becomes a vibration. Your vibration becomes like, and this is stuff that they beat you in the head with to basically make excuses for the fact that they love sin. Let's see, you said 1 Kings 11 and 2. No sweat. I'm gonna make sure I wrote it down. I'm gonna make sure I cover that. We're gonna go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 9 first. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 9. Will ye still murder and commit adultery and swear falsely and burn incense unto Baal and walk after other gods whom ye know not? You understand? Like, he's asking, like, are you willing to do all of this stuff? Because all of this stuff defies the Most High God. As a matter of fact, let's see. Let's go up a few. Let's start at verse 6, right? Verse 6 says, if ye oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods to your hurt, then will I cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. Meaning, if you worship me and only me, I will allow you to dwell in this land. You understand? That I left behind for your fathers, for your forefathers. You understand? But you have to follow these guidelines, follow these law, statutes, and commandments. Don't oppress a stranger, the fatherless, or the widow. Don't shed innocent blood in this place. And don't walk after other gods. You understand? Walk after me. Come and chase me. Because it's worth the chase. You understand? And it says, verse 8, behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. You understand? When you following false idols and false gods, you're following false doctrine, and false doctrine will cause you to have lying words. You understand? And you can't profit from those lying words. Verse 9, will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods to whom ye know not? Like, are you willing to do all of this and sacrifice what the Most High laid out for you? You understand? You willing to worship Baal? Like, of all creations, you want to worship Baal? Salakia. Salakia. Just had a moment. You know, when your ear itch and you get that spot, give me chills. But see, that's a cultural thing. Anywho, you know, are you willing to worship Baal and walk after other gods whom ye know not? Like, it's blasphemy. Verse 10, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations. Basically, you willing to do all that, then present yourself before me. You know what I'm saying? Because you might as well just face what I got lined up for you now instead of waiting. Don't drag it out. You know what I mean? Get this punishment for your insubordination. You understand? I keep it simple. All the stuff I'm saying don't do, you want to worship other gods and do it. This is the danger of dealing with laying and dwelling with heathens, Salakia. This is what you tend to face when dealing with other nations. And it's an abomination to the Lord God. All right, let's go to young man Hector's precept. Let's see. It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto those in love, to these in love. Yeah, damn right. Give your man Hector a hand. He be on point, trying to tell you. You be having them bullet point daggers when you throw those precepts out there. Like, sometimes you be moving too fast. Some of them precepts be in our class, they be in the lineup. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta pump the brakes just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, what was that? I started at verse 6 to verse 10. Let me write down my notes so I don't forget. But yeah, that's damn right. You know, man, Hector. The Lord tells us, don't go unto these heathens and don't let them come in unto you. You know what I'm saying? Do not lay with them. Do not make children with them. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said so because they will turn your heart away and have you serving other gods. You'll serve Buddha. You will bang your head on a rock 30 times a day and give yourself a daily concussion, worshiping a goddamn stone that everybody and their mama put their lips on. And if you go to Mecca and put your nasty ass lips on that hot ass stone, you're gonna catch something. I promise you. Your lips gonna bubble up and boil up, and you're gonna catch something. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna get something you can't get rid of. You know what I mean? Lips done touch that goddamn rock. Nasty. I don't understand why they worship a rock anyway. You know, it's almost like when our people was in the wilderness, in Exodus, you know, after we escaped Egypt, you know, fled from the Pharaoh and he let us go. We as a people, we messed up with the Most High at that point when we was in the wilderness. We was impatient. Instead of waiting on Moses to come down with those laws so we could start training in the wilderness and getting ready to make it to the land of milk and honey. No, we gas up Aaron to make us a golden calf so we could worship the calf in the name of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty, that was corny. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth it. Like, we have to, as a people, we have to learn to be patient. And that's crazy. He prays to a fat green Buddha statue. You're right. That's like people that wear that damn wooden cross. They wear that cross on their chain. They think it means something. Fighters be other nations be in the octagon about to fight in the UFC, and they be all doing the sign of the cross, mocking Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Man, it's crazy because we, in a sense, fell right into this precept because before knowing who the ISUPK was, we was in the world. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, smoking weed, getting high, sleeping with heathens, white women, East Indian women, Arab women, whoever. You know what I'm saying? And they turned us away from the Lord because we started getting into their customs. Like, take young Jeezy, for example. He married Jeannie Ma, thought he was doing something. Know what I mean? Got him a little Asian butterfly. Thought that was cute. Why it didn't last long? Started wearing a kimono dress. Started following her customs. She started becoming the one in charge, and you didn't like that because you felt like you was giving your strength to a woman, and you was, dummy. You know what I mean? You had to wake up from that. You know, and that's the crazy thing when you're dealing with these other nations. The second things don't go right, they make life extremely difficult for you, as if Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women don't make life difficult for us as it is. But a goddamn heathen will make life unbearable for you. You understand? Because they got the complexion for the protection. Damn right, Hector. Don't forget they eat bats too. That's how we allegedly ended up getting COVID-19 now here. Chinese people was eating bad. Remember during the pandemic? I want y'all to think about something. Here's a thought to make you go, Now, prior to the pandemic, remember how you be outside? I don't care where you at. If you in the United States, you in the hood. And wherever state you in, whatever zone you in the hood. You ever notice how when you be outside, you'll see stray cats and stray dogs? You know what I mean? You might see a stray dog once in a blue moon here and there, but you'll see more like stray cats out in the streets during times of the day and night, just like you'll see possums and raccoons, right? Remember during the pandemic, sit and think about this. Let this bake your noodle. Where did the stray cats go? During the whole pandemic from 2019 to 2022, I did not see no stray cats on my block. Even the little three-legged one that be running from getting jumped every couple of days. I ain't even see that one. Where all them stray cats go? But I'll tell you one thing, the Chinese restaurant was booming. Them boneless spare rib tips with the extra barbecue sauce and the pork fried rice, that thing was slapping during the pandemic, huh? That thing was slapping. It was giving the rib tips away at some point. You ain't even knowing why. You just getting it like, yeah, damn, these things, it's just slap. Tearing them rib tips up. Tearing that shrimp up. Didn't even know you was eating them stray cats that you ain't see. You understand what I'm saying, Israel? Like, really let that sink in, because I'm telling the truth. I mean, at least for my hood. I don't know about, for those that live in the states they in, but in my hood, we see strays all over the place. Somebody cat always leaving home and never coming back. There's always some stray cats out this mofo. Hell, when I cleaned out my aunt's apartment years ago, I removed 69 cats from her house. There was too much inbreeding going on. They had to go. So there's plenty of strays out there. Trust me. You're right, Hector. Thank you for ruining that for me. It's bad enough I stopped eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Thank you for ruining chicken and broccoli for me. Thank the water. Thank you, young man Hector. Now that's another thing on my list that I'm not eating no more from Chinese spot. You know what I mean? I thought I was confined to just General Tso's chicken and broccoli with chicken fried rice or vegetable fried rice or plain fried rice. But, as young man Hector so adequately put it, I wasn't eating chicken and broccoli. I was eating cat broccoli. So now I'm just totally turned off from it altogether. Thank you, Hector. Thank you. The water. Appreciate it. Now I'm going to just stick to chicken wings and fries. Or chicken and wings and fried rice. There you go. But yeah, that's basically what happens. They chop up these cats, they chop up these raccoons. Like, y'all gotta watch the content I'll be putting out on the school's page, man. Boots on the ground. I had a segment where I was putting out content about food. And I was showing like a lot of where all this processed food originates from and all these processed drinks and sodas. Did you know that chocolate Yoo-hoo has no shelf life? Now let that sink in for those that like chocolate and love chocolate milk and y'all love drinking Nesquik and Yoo-hoo and stuff like that. Just let that one sink in for the Yoo-hoo fans. Yoo-hoo has no shelf life for expiration date. Shalom. And you said more like cat and broccoli. Yeah, you're right, young man Hector. You're right. I don't want to get ignorant like I did my brother when he was trying to get me to stop eating shrimp. I'm like, well, this cat and broccoli good to the mug. I tell you, the way they put that chicken and broccoli, so that chicken and cat sauce on it. Ooh wee. That's all right. I got one for you, young man Hector. What I do is I'll get the sweet and sour chicken with chicken fried rice, but instead of having the sweet and sour sauce, I had them put the chicken and broccoli sauce on that once in a while. You know what I mean? or I stick to the chicken wings and the fries. Gotta rock with the chicken wings, but not them genetically enhanced ones. You gotta get the regular ones. You know what I mean? The real chicken wings, the ones the small ones. That's how you know they legit. Remember how them big genetically enhanced wings started popping up? Like they was just pumping them full of steroids. Gotta watch for those. Yeah, Jello got pork in it. Gummy bears got pork in it. All of them little sweet and sour gummies, sour patches, gummy worms, all of them. You know what it is? They have what you call gelatin. Gelatin is made from pork. Now, if you do your research and look at the ingredients prior to purchasing, you'll or go online and pull up the list of items that have gelatin in it, because you got two different ones. You got, pork gelatin from the pig, and then you got one that's called beef gelatin. Now, those items that got beef gelatin, they tawab. You can eat those. Like if they start making jello with beef gelatin, that's better. That's healthier. You can get that's tawab. That's lawful. You know what I mean? Marshmallows got pork in it. Regular Jiffy cornbread has pork in it. Half of the chips that you like to buy out the bodega got pork in it. But yeah, the regular Jiffy cornbread box, if you look at the ingredients on the back of the box, or on the side, the first two ingredients says lard and hydrogenated lard, which comes from pork fat and pork grease. So yeah, that's pork. But all the other Jiffy cornbread mixes outside of the original, no lard or hydrogenated lard. It's just the original one. The rest of them got the right ingredients. But let me get back to these scriptures, right? Now you gave me the book of 1 Kings chapter 11 at verse 2, where it says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel. And when he said the nations which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, he was letting them know the nations that don't belong to the 12 tribes, these are the nations I'm giving you fair warning about and warning to stay away from. Don't dwell with them, don't lay with them, and vice versa. And usually, in the world, we would say, oh, well, some situations you can't escape and get away from. So to eliminate that, what you do is you don't put yourself in a predicament that'll have you in any shape or form of that type of position. You know what I mean? If you see something developing, walk away. You know what I'm saying? If you in a situation where it could turn into that, don't do it. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon claved unto these in love, meaning Solomon, he cleaved into the words of God. You understand? He cleaved into his women as well in love, but he cleaved into the words of the Most High God in love as well. But at some point, I don't want to say he got lost, but I mean, yeah, he if he knew the law, statutes, and commandments, he was just being greedy. In all honesty, he was just being greedy and being selfish. Like 700 wives, 300 concubines, that's 1,000 women. That's way more than enough women to dwell with. I'm sorry. Like, that's just... After 3 wives, for me, it's like... I'm stretching that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally stretching it. Because you got to think, like, some brothers, It's why we're having one wife, but it's lawful again because it's the law class. It's lawful to have more than one rib, but you got to understand there's rules and guidelines to this, and they supposed to be your husband for life, and they supposed to be your rib for life. So it's things you got to take into consideration, and there's conditions that have to be met and kept in order for that to sustain. Because being a priest or prophet, you want to have the Lord with you. You want to have the Lord with you at all times. Salakia. Salakia. When you lay with a woman, you want to have the Lord with you. You understand? In general, you want to have the Lord with you. That's just a situation in itself, right? Now, we being in the world, we don't give two craps. We don't be caring, right? A large part of the reason is we choose not to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and that's where we be messing up at. That's where we be wrong at. If we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, then what are we doing this for? Because we as a people have to set the example and serve the Most High power. You understand? Like, I seriously pray y'all understand. Like, it's a whole nother. It's like a whole nother feeling when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Like a commandment that the Most High gives to us. The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1, right? In the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1, it says, "Let brotherly love continue." That's about as simple, plain, cut, and dry as you gonna make that you make a situation. You understand? Let brotherly love continue. That's a commandment. Love one another as I loved you. That's Christ speaking. You understand? Just the fact that he allows us to wake up every day deserves his praise. Like, that's why me being in the truth now, I can't understand for the life of me why we celebrate birthdays, right? We sitting here putting money into it, and we could have been saving that money to, if we're gonna praise somebody, let's praise the Most High. Let's get us a dope ass lamb or something. Let's cut it up, break it down, but let's also make a burnt offering, a sacrifice for the Most High. Let's cook this lamb and sacrifice it for the Most High God. You understand? Let's do stuff. We're going to do something, then let's do something to please the Most High instead of putting your money into all the wrong stuff. When it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments, put your money where your mouth is. You understand? Be willing to step up when it comes to the Most High God. And that's what I mean as far as keeping the laws. It said, like I said, in Hebrews 13:1, it says, "Let brotherly love continue." Now, for those that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we know what that means when it say, "Let brotherly love continue." We to continue loving our brothers. You understand? Oh, shalom, sis. Shalom. Yahweh Shemal Athem Bashem Yahweh Shah. Yeah. Welcome to the law class, sis. I'm just sending a notification out for folks. I didn't get a chance to do it before class. That's why I said Salakia. Just bear with me. I'm just about finished. But yeah, the scriptures say, "Let brotherly love continue." In the book of John, chapter 34, verse 35, it says, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I loved you, that ye love one to another." Like, he reiterates the fact that we're supposed to love one another as he loved us. And the proof that Christ loved us, he got crucified so the Most High wouldn't take us up out of here. You understand? Like, even for example, like even when with Noah's Ark, right? The Most High told Noah, I'm going to make it rain. Build something. Noah didn't know he was building a boat. He didn't know he was building an ark. The Most High just gave him the order, gave him the instructions, and said, here, this is what you do. This is how you make it. This is what you need to make it according by. Use these measurements. You understand? Now, in the scriptures, it says a cubits. Now, if you don't, use your brain or go in your Google machine to find out what the hell a cubics is, because that's not in the periodic table, that's not in mathematical equations and or formulas, neither is it in physics. You understand? But it's in our records, it's in our history, Israel. You know what I'm saying? A cubics. Now, when we start talking about a cubics is like you'll hear about a cubics in the UFO scriptures when they're talking about UFOs, when it says, behold, the flying roll in the sky, right? In the book of Zechariah. In the book of Zechariah, it tells us accounts of a flying roll in the air. Now, like, picture a flying object in the shape of a round roll. What does that sound like to you? Like, basic common sense, you're going to say that sounds like a flying saucer, right? But in the scriptures, they call them chariots. You understand? They call them chariots. Salakia. All right, all done. They call those specific a flying roll. They call them chariots, right? So, and then Book of Zechariah breaks down the flying roll and it gives you the measurements. Like, I think it says like 18 by 18 cubics. Now, one cubics is 18 inches. So it's about 1.5 feet. So when you say 18 by 18, so you got to break out the calculator and do some math. But we'll save that for another class. But this is the law class. So we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Part of that precept that young man Hector had me bring out was, like, don't go into the other nations and let them come in unto you. You understand? We're not supposed to let them come into our fold, and we're not supposed to go into their fold. Salakia. All right, I'm going to go back to that precept. Salakia. Yeah. All right. We are in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. We're going to start at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1, right? Now, the book of Deuteronomy, the laws is all in the book of Deuteronomy. And because you got a lot of Christians that'll sit there and say, oh, I don't follow the Old Testament, I follow the New Testament. But then when you smack them and cut them with the same scriptures, but in the New Testament, they be like, oh, they switch up like, oh, I don't listen to the New Testament, I follow the old original Testament. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you just take this cut. Like, I like cutting Christians, not with a physical knife, but I like cutting them with scriptures, because they be thinking they know stuff. And the beginning of wisdom is fear of the Most High. If they don't know that, then what the hell do they know? Like, let's be real here. And no worries, young man Hector. I ain't forget about Romans 13:1. I'm going to get to it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord God, you just had to be extra and pull up the actual measurements, right? 27 feet in diameter. The water, young man Hector. Thank you. Matter of fact, let me write that down. What the hell are they doing upstairs? Okay. I'll leave on the computer. It's 27 feet. Most High Christ. All right, back to the precept. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. Damn, Slakia. You know what? And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning if you listen, hearken is to listen. Diligently means to listen very thoroughly unto the voice of the Lord thy God. If you listen thoroughly to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, meaning to watch, and to do, you understand? To observe and to do all, not some, all, not half, all, not the ones that he like, but all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations, not some, all nations, not half, all nations, not the ones that he think they cool because they know a little bit about black and Hispanic culture, but all nations of the earth. You understand? If you hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, he will set thee on high above all nations upon the earth, right? Slovakia. There we go. All right, now from right here. There we go. All right, I did it right. Now, that's if you listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, right? Now, here's what I'm going to give you if you don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, meaning this is happening. It's when they say it shall come to pass, meaning it's happening. With or without you, this is going down. This is happening regardless. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning if you don't want to listen thoroughly unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, not some, not half, but all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses, let me say it again, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You understand what I'm saying, Israel? These curses will come upon you and overtake you. This precept automatically cuts other nations that think the Bible that the Bible is about them, and it's not. It's about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand what I'm saying? This automatically cuts them out, because if they say, like, for example, a Hamite, right? If they say that the Bible is for everybody, this precept directly shows that is not, because the curses don't fit y'all. They only fit Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because y'all successful overall as a people. We're not. We're broke, we're poverty ridden, and we strive to not be strung out on drugs and alcohol. You understand? That's why I said these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. I'm going to read a little bit furthermore. Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city. Meaning, no matter what city you in, no matter what state, no matter what country, no matter what town you in, when you in that city, the Most High could touch you. The Most High could get you. He can get you up out of here if he so choose so. If you not, putting in the brick, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and showing the Most High God with action that you love him, because love is an action, then you'll be cursed in the city. And it also states that, and cursed shall thou be in the field, meaning out in the streets, out in the country. Basically, there's nowhere in the four corners of the earth you can go and hide from the Most High God. There's nowhere on the four corners of the earth you can run or hide from these law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you will be subjected to face his punishments if you don't step up and do what needs to be done and keep these law, statutes, and commandments. I pray I'll understand. Let me go down some more. Let's see. Let's see. I thought it was 54. No, 48. Now look, here's another example of your punishment for not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord God shall send against thee. Think about this. Don't we serve our enemy by working for them? Don't they own the companies we work for? Think about that. In today's time, because slavery is abolished, we still serve the oppressor. We work for their company. We make them richer, and they give us pennies on the dollar. And on top of all those pennies on the dollar they give us, they tax that. And don't have one of them jobs where you got to pay 2 cents of tax every check, where you got company taxes and then you got the regular state and federal taxes. Don't have one of those. You'll be up the creek without a paddle. I'm trying to tell you, like today's society is designed for us to fail miserably. You understand? Fuck you. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. We get our check. Don't we go to their check cashing spot to cash it, for them to cash a check and tax a check that's already been taxed? Because they got to get theirs too. Then we go to their supermarket like Walmart, Costco's, and we spend our hard-earned money there for them to raise the prices up. But we still got to eat. Don't we spend our money in their stores for food? Where's the little there's no more little mom and pop stores that we can go to. Yeah, we got bodegas in the hood, but they slowly phasing out. You understand? They selling to the highest bidder. Like, this is like, we have to pay attention to today's current events and understand that all this is tied into the Lord's statutes and commandments, which is why it's imperative that we follow and keep them. We go to them in hunger. We got to eat out their restaurants. The Crown's Chicken is in my hood is ran by Hamites. They ran by Africans, but they're owned by white people, because the ones down south, same thing. You understand? We go to them at Hunger, McDonald's, owned by white people, Wendy's, Burger King, Popeyes, KFC, Hibachi. You understand? All that's owned by all other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah, we do got some Caribbean restaurants. Yeah, we do have some Trinidadian restaurants. Yeah, we do have some Brazilian and Mexican restaurants. However, not as many as these so-called fast food spots, right? Slovakia. So we go to them in hunger, we go to them in thirst. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go buy the expensive ass cases of water. Some of that water ain't even clean enough for us to drink, but we buy the poison anyway. Because what else are we gonna do? Where else are we gonna go? The white man's the devil that the Bible speaks of. We can't even catch rainwater coming down our own backyard, you know what I mean, and purify it and then heat it up, distill it, heat it again, distill it again, and then purify it and then drink it, adding a little alkali to it, which is for health purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could take rainwater and trap it and catch it and boil it and clean it and make it taste very good. But they don't want us to do that. That's why it's against the law in all states in the United States for you to try to catch rainwater and make your own clean water. Well, I'm not touching that tap water. The tap water is either brown like in Flint, Michigan, or it's got so much estrogen and lead and stuff in it that I'm scared to drink it. I'm scared to make juice with it. Hell, I don't like washing the dishes with it. There was something that was out recently where they said there's estrogen levels in our tap water. That means you taking showers with that water as a man. You understand? Like, you taking showers, rubbing that estrogen infused water on your body, washing your face, brushing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Rinsing your cups out. Like, like, think about it, Israel. Like, when is enough going to be enough? And we just be like, I got it. I figured it out. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing this and I'm gonna start doing this because this makes sense. Think about it. If you look at the ISUPK under Commander General YAHANNA, and then you look at the Christian church, right? You got a decision to make in your mind. Somebody's lying and somebody's telling the truth. And then sit back, watch the play develop, and you'll know who's telling the truth and who's lying. You understand? It's real simple. But yeah, we go to them in hunger and thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. We work for y'all, we get paid. Y'all pay us pennies on the dollar. We bust them checks just to spend them with y'all for us to go in the hole and owe you on the back end. You understand, Israel? Like, we're destroyed as a people in general. How can we survive? How can we thrive with that primitive mind state? How can we thrive as a people if we don't stick together? How can we thrive as a people if we keep allowing the oppressor to dictate our life, dictate our movements? You understand what I'm saying, Israel? I really pray I do. And it's saying, in one of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Like, them yokes of iron is like not physical yokes of iron anymore. You know what them yokes of iron is? Them yokes of iron is Christianity. Them yokes of iron is Islam. Them yokes of iron is the, Christian church. Them yokes of iron is the Muslim mosque. Them yokes of iron is those synagogues of Satan. And, at some point we have to let it go. We have to wake up, get back to these law, statutes, and commandments, and learn how to love ourselves, learn how to love the Most High, learn how to gather ourselves together. You understand? Salakia. All right, let me pull up another precept. Let me pull up that Romans 13:1. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. The higher powers is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Jesus. His real name is Christ. You understand? Christ is the higher power. His Father, the Most High God, is the other higher power. So when they say higher powers in plural, you got to respect the rank and order. This is what Kashakwa was bringing out in his class yesterday. We have rank and we have order. And without that rank and order, we don't have structure. And without that structure, we have chaos. Salakia. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. See, the only power that we have on this earth is from the Most High God. You don't have no power unless the Most High gives it to you. You understand, Israel? If the Most High not giving it to you, then what power do you have? If you're not getting it from Christ, then where you getting it from? You understand? If you're going through the chain of command, you go to Christ. Christ is going to go to the big homie. You know what I'm saying? The big homie grants it. If Christ says so, then he'll give you the power. You understand? But you know, you can't expect to, you know, have any power unless you're doing what's needed to be done to have that power. Meaning you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. If you're a man, you in these classes, you're learning, you're gaining the wisdom of the Most High. And then when the time comes, you're going to finish shedding yourself of the world. And if you have to, the people in it, so you could become all new and refined and shiny like gold. You understand what I'm saying, Israel? I pray y'all do. The powers that be are ordained by God. All the powers that's given out is only given by the Most High God. Me having the power of teaching y'all right now is ordained by the Most High God and passed on down through the rank and order. This is what gives me the authority to teach those law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? This is what gives me the okay to break these scriptures down for understanding purposes, so those can understand. Because I could just, break scriptures down real quick, tell you this means this means that, this means this. But we also as priests have to make it relatable for the viewers, not just the ones that's in class, but for the ones that sit there and sneak watching. They don't want to be part of the truth, but they just find comfort in knowing that they're Israelites, and they want to sneak watch the class. Like, they don't want to jump in the chat when it's live, but I know if they watching or not. You know what I mean? I could tell if they in here or not. You feel me? So, we have to subject ourselves to Christ and to Yahweh, the Most High God. And being a priest and prophet of the Lord, you absolutely have to make sure you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because you're the example and you have to set the tone. As a priest, I have to set the tone. I have to be the example. You understand? I have to learn, sit at the feet of the wise men, like Commanding General YAHANNA. You know what I mean? General Haziyan, General Mayak, General Mahayman, General Kabbalah, General Katham Gabar. You understand? Like, I have to sit at the foot of the wise and learn this truth and get more rooted in this truth. I promise you, the more rooted you get, the more the more information your spirit gathers. If you get what I mean when I say that. Salakia. Okay. Now, verse 2. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. Meaning, if you reject the power of the Most High God, if you reject these laws, statutes, and commandments, if you reject this love that the Most High is giving you, if you're rejecting the laws, you're rejecting God. If you're rejecting any of these laws, even the smallest one, you're rejecting the Most High as a whole. That's why the other scriptures say, if you guilty of one sin, you guilty of them all. Because if you'll smoke, you'll drink obsessively. If you'll drink obsessively, you'll label a whore. If you'll label a whore, you'll pop pills and do other things. You understand? You'll go back to eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. If you commit one sin, you're guilty of all of them. And that's just what it is. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. And they that resisteth shall receive to themselves damnation. Meaning, for them resisting the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, he gonna make them pay. You understand? He is going to make them pay. That's why I said they receive to themselves damnation. He's going to make sure they suffer. And you better pray that you fix that and set yourself right, because he could do far more worse than just punish you. He could punish your generations. He could make sure you have an abundance of kids, and they all going to suffer. And if they have kids, they all going to suffer, so on and so on and so forth. You know what that's called, Israel? That's called a generational curse, something that we're enduring now in these latter days. We're enduring generational curses as we speak. Let's see. All right, we off of Romans 13. Let's switch it up a little bit. Now, another example of why it's best that we keep the laws of God rather than the laws of man is for this right here. This is the prime reason right here. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters. You can't sit there and smoke weed and think you're going to still be in class keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because the Lord is not an author of confusion, and neither are the men in the ISUPK. We're not hypocrites, you understand? And if there is a hypocrite among us, he will get weeded out. That I promise. Like clockwork. He would get weeded out like an enigma. You can't serve two masters. You can't smoke cigarettes and keep the law, statutes, and commandments, because you're breaking it by doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't label whores because that's your twist, and then be in the truth, because you can't throw sisters away. One, you're not supposed is a commandment to, like in the Bible, to not label a whore, for one, because one, you're making a bigger whore of the sister, which makes you a whoremonger. Two, you throw her away, which is why you're making yourself a whoremonger, and you're turning the sister into a whore. You get what I'm saying? So, sex is marriage. Once you label the woman, that's it. Sisters, once you label the brother, that's it. You know what I'm saying? All that other nonsense is for the birds. Like, you can't serve two masters. You can't You can't serve the white. You can't serve the white man and think you're going to serve Christ too. That's not going to fly. You can't. You can't sit there and invisibly blow the white man's rod to make him happy, make him rich, and you still getting crumbs on the dollar and being treated like utter crap, and then you expect to still serve the Most High God. How does that work? Like, make that make sense? How does that work? How can you serve the Most High God and serve another God? How can you lay with a heathen? How can you lay with an East Indian woman and say you love God and serve him when you're going to be sitting there serving Shiva or Dionysus? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these heathens have multiple gods. I think India got like 613 gods. I believe so. I believe it's, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost 99% sure that East Indians got like 613 gods or whatever that they worship, because they got a god for everything instead of just having one God to believe in, which makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. That's it right there. You can't serve God and something else. You get what I'm saying, Israelite? You can't. What's another good way to put it? What's the best way to put it? I'm looking for a good analogy. Like, I'm thinking, Israel. What's a good analogy? Because it's like, all right, it's like you can't be in the truth and still be in the world. Like, you still can't be the old Jew and in the truth. You understand? Because how it works is, when you come into the truth, you shed yourself of the world, right? And you're going to go through your trials. When you go through your trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying, you're going to not physically burn in fire, but you're going to go through the fire of trials and tribulations. You're going to go through the fire of being tried and tempted and so on and so forth. And you're going to be burned and melted down. The old you is going to melt down, and the new you is going to arise from the ashes, all refined and brand new. You understand? So that's why you can't serve two masters. You can't serve money, being in the world, falling in love with money, doing everything to get to the bag, even if it means crossing your own people like broader market. You get what I'm saying? Like, that ain't gonna fly. You can't serve two masters, because you'll love one and hate the other, or you'll despise one and hold on to the other one. You'll eventually hate the Most High. Like, all right, I'll give you an even better example. How many times you seen somebody in the world in your family, if it wasn't you yourself directly, right? How many of y'all lost a loved one, somebody close to y'all, and y'all blamed God for that person leaving? Y'all ain't got to answer that question. It's rhetorical, but think about it. When you was in the world, how many loved ones you had, you cried over, you lost? The Most High brought them home, so to speak, and y'all felt some type of way about it. That was your nana. You loved her so much. This, that, and the third. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all blame God. Why would you blame the Creator for bringing His creation back to the drawing board? You know what I mean? Reincarnation is real. She'll be back. He'll be back. They'll be back in the third generation. You understand? I love water. Good stuff. It's impossible to try to serve two masters. You understand? Because when you're in the world, you're serving everything. You're serving money. You're worshiping women. You're worshiping drugs. You're worshiping cigarettes and vapes and raps and all this other garbage, right? Being in the truth, you learn it. You learn how to you learn how to worship the Most High God. Slack it one moment, Israel. Slack it, rebellion. Slack it, Israel. Yeah, he's sleep. His son outside.
Son? Disturb me, baby.
Nah, you good, bro. Slack Israel had to handle something right quick. Israel Slakia. Okay, where was All right, yeah, Matthew 6:24. Basically, like I said, you can't serve two masters when dealing with the world or dealing with the truth, because you'll love one and hate the other. Let's see. You know, man, Hector said they try to test me, offer me more money from overtime on the Sabbath day, but no other days. Yeah, you know what that be, young man Hector? That be a test to see if you're gonna accept the white man over the Lord, and that's all it be. I'll give you a prime example. My rib, right now, I haven't been around my rib in months. It's been we've been separated for a time. She got me blocked for whatever reason. I ain't even do nothing, but women could be like that, especially when they in the world. So what she tries to do is she wants to spend more time. Like she don't gotta work no more. Like she rich. She got money. She don't work or nothing like that no more. She retired. You know what I'm saying? She wants me to be retired with her so we can spend time. But I told her I'm a priest now. It's different. When you first met me and was dealing with me, I was just getting into the school. Now I'm a priest. I teach class. You know what I'm saying? Outside of class, we can spend time. That's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? So what she tried to do was I tell her I'll be busy on Saturdays. I got the Sabbath service. So what she would try to do is try to get me to spend time with her when I'm supposed to be teaching class. If I'm not here teaching class, then who gonna be here teaching class? Who gonna set the computer up? Who gonna do it? Nothing personal, but y'all see my face every day. Y'all see other brothers' faces, but you know what I mean. Like you have to make those choices and those sacrifices. You understand, Israel? Like you have to make those choices and those sacrifices. You have to choose between the world or the Most High God. It's not the brothers in the school that you're choosing. It's the Lord that you're choosing. You get what I'm saying? You're choosing the Lord's statutes and commandments over the world. You're choosing the Lord's statutes and commandments over spending time with your rib. If your rib can't respect the fact that you're a priest and a prophet for the Lord, and she's not going nowhere, and she can't be patient and fall back while you handle your business for the Lord, then she got to fall to the wayside. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody or nothing more important than me making sure I'm in here on time teaching these classes, bringing out the truth. There's nothing more important than me getting these history classes out, making sure y'all learn this Black history and learn our culture about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? I have to be the Black history teacher because we don't have Black history in schools no more. We don't have multicultural studies, meaning Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian culture. They don't teach that in school no more. They're changing it, doctoring it, altering it, and removing it from the books. There's no more transatlantic slave trade. Now it's the transatlantic migration. They want to sit there and try to implicate that we chose to get put in shackles and yokes of iron and get brought over here to America for a greater job opportunity and a greater opportunity at life. We wanted to be enslaved and be whipped and hung and treated like utter crap. That's what they're trying to teach us. They're trying to teach our young children gay BCs. These kids in first and second grade, why would they have half naked white men dressed as women dancing and twerking in front of the kids? That is not education. Even white teachers is looking like, yo, what is y'all doing? This has nothing to do with education. This is why I don't agree with Trump. I don't support Trump. I don't endorse Trump. But I do agree with him when he went on national TV and said, when I get in office, if I catch any teachers anywhere in any state teaching anything outside of boys are born boys and they're to be boys, girls are born girls and to be girls, you will suffer dire consequences. You're going to suffer more than losing your job. That I agree with Trump. You understand? And I'm not wrong for that because I feel the same exact way. Ain't no way in hell you're going to be teaching my child gay BCs. Absolutely not. You will not be teaching my child about the transformer community. You will not be teaching my child about the alphabet community and the Rainbow Coalition. You understand? My child will not be coming home asking me homophobic questions, asking me unreasonable things. You understand? My child will not come home talking about I identify as a goddamn furry. My child will not come home talking about I identify as a cat or a dog. You got to meow to me or bark at me. Oh, I'm a barker, right? My belt going to bark across your ass. Just keep playing with me. You understand? See, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't tolerate that, and we don't play that garbage. I don't know. Absolutely not. I don't know if y'all in the chat, I don't know if y'all got kids or not, but if y'all do, you understand where I'm coming from. This is not the time that I came up from. I'm born and raised from the Wish a Nigga Woods. I wish a nigga would. This is why I'm kind of glad I don't have any children right now, because I kind of don't want to raise them in this environment. I kind of don't want to raise them in this generation because these kids out here is cooked. Their parents is even more cooked. They barbecued, filleted, dried, and laid to the side. They still worried about what's popping outside and what's shaking and all this other garbage. Like what the hell? Salakia. I'm trying not to ramble on, but that's a touchy subject, you know. We're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. This further verifies that You shouldn't be worshiping other gods. You understand? There's only one God. There's no God before me. There's no God after me. It's just me. There's no God besides me. People got this misconception in the world, think that Satan is the Lord's like alter ego or his other half. Like they sit at a table playing chess, going over moves of ruling and domination. No, it's not it. Satan is one of the children of the Lord. When the Lord called his children to report, Satan came too. I'm about to pull that for you right now. Here we go. Sorry to bounce around. Salakia for bouncing around. But this is the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came along also among them. Dig what I just said, right? It said, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came along also among them, meaning he's one of their Lord's children. Verse 7, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence cometh thou? Basically like, where you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been? Then Satan answered and said, Lord, Adawan. And he said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. Meaning, this also shows structure and order, because even Satan was following the goddamn order. The Lord told Satan, go along the earth, go to and fro, go walk up and down in it, and tempt people, and show me who loves me and who don't. He sent Satan to do a goddamn job, and Satan does his goddamn job. He follows the order, and he does diligent work. You understand? Sloppy, let me write that precept down right there. All right. Back to what I just had to show that real quick. That was a quick little side step. But yeah, this shows the Lord is Christ, and then is God. Christ is our King. The Lord oversees everything and everybody. Christ just oversees all of man, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. But God is the overseer of all. Of all. Saga. Okay, that was left field. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Next precept. Did I do John? Oh no. Let me see if I did this one already. Nope, I did not. All right. It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. You understand? Meaning, another comforter shall return. Christ sacrificed himself so we would have grace, meaning a grace period, to gather together now that the Spirit of the Most High God is back on the earth. You understand? We have been given a grace period to gather together and to start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments once again. Slovakia. All right. Meaning we've been given a grace period. We've been given a grace period to get it together and also to get right. You understand? So he will send us another comforter when the time comes. And that comforter is going to make sure that we're protected, because this is why Judah mourneth. In Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourneth, for the gates thereof languish. See, we as the 12 tribes of Israel, you understand, we mourn. We mourn because we get unalived regularly. You understand? Our kids is out here getting unalived by one another, not just by police. You understand? We mourn because we're oppressed. We mourn because we are under duress. We are under a state of oppression and a state of destruction. You understand? And we mourn in the gates thereof languish because we don't have no protection. We don't have, those gates represent our protectors. It represents our government, our official elect. You understand? Not what's voted in, but what's ordained by the Most High God. We don't have no protectors. Ain't no Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Don't none of them protect us. Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, Kurt Franklin. Can't none of them protect us. You understand? We don't have no protection. Our gates are languish. Our gates are broken. Our gates is knocked down. Our gates is destroyed because we have no protection. We have no protector. But in the ISUPK, we have under Commander General YAHANNA, we have Commander General YAHANNA, and we have the generals and the captains and so on and so forth down the line. We have protection here in the ISUPK. We have the elect, you understand, ordained by the Most High God. We have protection, you understand? That's why in the scriptures when it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Let me pull that. I don't like paraphrasing. I like making sure we got the scripture. Bear with me, Israel. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You know, our people rejoice when we're in authority under Commander General YAHANNA. When we out here doing food drives, clothing drives, and we're comforting the people with the law, statutes, and commandments. Like when we did that mission to Acuna, Mexico, and saved our Haitian brothers and our Israelite brothers and sisters, and provided them with clothes, food, water, and the law, statutes, and commandments, and they received us under duress because the whole time we was ducking the cartels because they didn't want us helping them. You understand? And we got in, we helped the people, and we got up out of there. Straight like that. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. They was happy to see us. They was happy that we was there to help it. You ain't see no fake Israelite groups down there. You ain't see no Christian churches down there. You ain't see no Muslim mosques down there helping none of them. Ain't nobody helped them but the ISUPK. You understand? So when they say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The people rejoice when the righteous are in authority. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Because this is why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Not saying you can't become successful, not saying you can't make an opportunity for yourself. It's the fact that if you don't have the proper knowledge or information to try to bob and weave and cut corners just to work around the oppressor, because, you know, we say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, but the word devil just means adversary. The white man is our official opposition. Those are the real ops, because we're trying to succeed, and their job is to put things, implement rules in place to hinder us from succeeding. Why you think in the history classes I teach, I bring out statistics to show that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to this day hold the most patents for inventions to date, and they still don't never get the credit that they deserve for the inventions that they create, like the traffic signal, the yellow light for the traffic signal, the rocket fuel. You understand? The automatic ladder for firefighters. You understand? The automated mailing system. Like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are so dope. Like they created so many great things that made this country great to where it is. This is what I'm trying to understand what Trump means by making America great again. What is his idea of making America great again when we were the ones that made it great in the first damn place? Like that's a legit question. Will we ever get an answer? I don't know. I seriously doubt it. But the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Our people rejoice when they see us. Like when we held Passover down there in North Carolina the first year, like for what's this, 2025, for 2023, man, they were skeptical about us until they got around us. When they seen all we was doing was showing love and spending money with everything and everybody down there, oh, they was like, oh man, y'all cool as hell. Y'all come on back down here. We ain't start no trouble. We ain't about no trouble. If trouble come our way, we handle it accordingly, but we ain't about none of that bull. We was out there taking care of our wives and our kids and each other, man, having a good time, making sure the kids had what they needed, making sure the sisters had what they needed, making sure the brothers was good, and everybody had a good time. That's what it was about. You understand? From the slaughter of the lamb on down. We got down there one day and made national television like they was trying to say we was a hate group and all this other garbage, trying to paint us in a horrible light. Even the mayor told us, come back. The mayor of North Carolina told us to come back. They loved us that much. They said, come back. And you know what? We did. We did one Passover in Charlotte. We did one Passover in Durham. You understand? Because when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You know what I'm saying? We did stuff that the mayor of the city didn't even do. You know what I'm saying? We packed up food. We packed up a U-Haul full of clothes, and we threw a cookout right in the middle of the worst projects down there in Durham, North Carolina. We were right there in the dead heart of the trenches, deep as hell. We marched in there. One SUV and everybody else, we marched on foot in there, marched right through the project, knocked on everybody doing the projects, talk about come outside. We got free food, free clothes. Come out, bring the kids. All y'all come out. You know what I'm saying? We had food on the grill. We got burgers, hot dogs on the grill for everybody. Sodas, chips, snacks for the kids. Free clothes, footwear. You know what I mean? We sat down there, taking the information down, giving them interviews, offering medical attention and stuff if they needed it. Like we was not playing. We was out there for our people. You don't see nobody else, no other group doing that, no other organization. Ain't no fake Israelite groups helping our people like that. They busy talking shit on the street corners, talking about we'll get you locked up. We'll call the cops on you. We'll get you up out of here. We don't care if you black. We'll get you locked up. That's how they talk to our people on the corners. I could make a whole clip of that, of them talking to our own people like that. That's what they do. But I'm not going to give them no 15 minutes of fame. They don't deserve the airtime. Not on our platform. You understand? Like, we love our people. You know what I'm saying? In the worst of conditions, we take care of ours. That's why we provide food, clothing. We got prison programs, all of that. That's why they loved us. They told us we welcome anytime. If we say we come to North Carolina and announce that, they welcoming us with open arms. They like, come back, come down, come to the college, come talk to the kids. You know what I'm saying? They were like, come talk to the kids out here. If we go into the slums and barrios, they know. They going to tell us. They going to like, yo, come talk to the people out here. That's why when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Our people aren't mourning. That's why I said in Jeremiah 14:2, Judah mourneth, for our gates thereof language. Like, we suffering right now. We suffering bad. Under the thumb of Donald Trump, we suffering real bad, Israel. This is why we have to come up from. Oh, you're gonna have a matter of fact. Let me pull that one. That's another one right there. Here we go. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. Hold on, let me write this down. I'm pulling bedrock scriptures out. This is another good one. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her. Meaning we have to come out of Christianity. We have to come out of Egyptology and Scientology. We have to come out from Islam. We have to come out from all the false ideologies of America. We have to come out of the ideals of thinking that everybody is loved by God and life is all champagne and rainbows, and we all supposed to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and that's gonna make us, and all of that's gonna change our current circumstances in life and society. We have to come out of the ideals that we could join hands with the white man and be side by side with them, and they're not going to plan our destruction. Like, they're going to stop putting knees in our back and on our neck. They're going to stop shooting us in the back. They're going to stop unaliving us, and we're all going to be just one big happy dysfunctional family. No, it don't work like that. Life don't work like that. The Lord loves who he loves, and the Lord hates who he hates. And the second people get that through their thick ass skull, the better off they will be, and the easier, the simpler it'll get towards following the Most High God and keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, don't be a part of the sins of America. Don't be partakers of the evil atrocities that they partake in. Don't be parts of it, because at the end of the day, they'll do it, get away with it, and just because you was there, you'll be the flunky. You'll be the fall guy. They'll be like, blame this nigga. He was there. Because they hold themselves not guilty for the crimes they commit against our people. And that's in the scriptures too. You understand? You have to come out from her and don't be partakers of her sins. Don't be partakers of the land of America and the sins of thereof. And it says, and that ye receive not of her plagues. If you don't become partakers of the sins, you won't be a partaker of the plagues. You understand? This is why we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. I pray y'all understand, Israel. I truly do pray y'all understand. Let's see. Yeah, 12. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Again, yeah. Well, now we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 12, right? It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh. Meaning, if you sit there and start studying Egyptology, Christianity, Islam, and so on and so forth, just so you could have something to say in the world, to sit there and say, oh, I know about this because I read this book, and I know about that because I read that book, and I heard about this because I looked this up and found it in this book. At the end of the day, you still don't know shit. You don't know shit. Period. No matter how you cut and slice it, you can read them books till you blue in the face. This is why the scripture says, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. You just weary and making your flesh weary by doing that. Stick to one book, the one that counts. The Bible. The King James Bible. That's it. Stick to the book that works. I promise it won't fail you. Give it a chance. That same book that's been sitting on your grandmama nightstand or that dining room table that's been sitting there collecting dust for the last 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That same book that you'll fight your family members for because it was your grandmama and you loved your grandmama so much and you need to have her Bible, and you'll sit there and be having a discussion with somebody in the street that know about the Bible, and you'll be like, oh, I read the Bible. I got like 4 Bibles in the house right now. I got my grandmama's Bible. Like, that's supposed to mean something. It still got dust on it. You don't look in it. You don't read it. You don't ask questions because you think you know every damn thing. But you don't know nothing. People don't even know. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Do Christians study that in church? No. You know what they talk about in church? God loves everybody. That's what they say. And then they twist up John 3:16 and try to use that to say that God loves everybody when that's not what it means. That's what they say. They want to say God. They say they want to say God loves everybody. That's the malarkey they running in the Christian church. I rarely hear them talk scriptures. They talk a lot of hoopla and hollering and praise God this and praise God that, and I never got into the church. I never did, even as a kid. That's why I slept through church. I wasn't missing nothing. What was I really missing there? Now we switch up and we go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22, starting at verse 17. I'll go a couple scriptures down and that's going to wrap it up. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, starting at verse 17. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? I mean, tell us, what's on your mind? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? Now, this is a precept for the law scriptures because, the Lord says give 10% of your increase to the prophets, right? But then we've been conquered by Rome and Greeks. You understand? So what they're asking right there in that situation is, do we give tribute? Like, we pay tithes for the church, for the congregation, but do we pay Caesar? Do we give tribute to Caesar or not? Verse 18. But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Like, he's asking that question, like, why you tempt me? Like, you think I'm a hypocrite? You think I'm gonna go against what I said? If I tell you that's not what I do. Verse 19. Show me the tribute money, and they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, whose is this image of superscription? Meaning, whose face is this on this coin? Whose face is this on this penny? And they say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are unto God. Meaning, pay your tithe, pay a 10% increase to the Most High God. You know what I mean? Pay it to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who is Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Pay your tithes, but render unto Caesar what is his. And translation in today's time, you complain about the taxes you get taxed for in your job, right? When you're slaving, you get taxed for this and taxed for that. Just render unto Caesar what is his. That's what Christ says. Render unto Caesar what is his. If they tax you, you gotta be taxed. If you're under oppression and you gotta be taxed, pay the tax. Just render unto Caesar what is his. But make sure you render to the Most High what is his too. You understand? And it says, verse 22. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. Now once they heard these words, they were surprised, like shocked, because this is something new to them. Like, oh, okay, so as long as I pay my tithes to the Most High, I still got to render unto Caesar. All right, no sweat. And basically they went their way. In a nutshell, we live in a time where we have to pay taxes, we have to pay bills, we have to pay this, that, and the third in order to survive, right? So pay the things that you have to pay your taxes, pay your bills, pay your rent, pay all the things that you need to pay to keep your head above water, to keep a roof over your head. You understand? And to keep, food on your plate. Do what you got to do to make sure you take care of you and your family and so on and so forth, right? But you make sure you pay your tithes every week. And you make sure you render unto Caesar what is his. That's a commandment by the Most High. It's scriptures for everything. It's always a pleasure and a service, doing this class and teaching y'all the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, right? You have to be mindful that, keeping the laws of God is one thing, but you still have to abide by the laws of the land, right, in order to survive in Esau's kingdom. By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you'll over time gain seasoning, and you'll learn how to properly navigate through Esau's kingdom and still stay intact with the truth, right? So just keep that in mind when you're going through everyday life and when you're going through hard times, when you're in times of trouble, times of despair, boss acting up at the slave, things going wrong at home, a loved one passed away, things of that nature. Just stay strong. As a man above me said to me one day, stay strong, stay focused. You understand? And make sure you stay rooted in this truth. Stay strong, stay focused. Tunnel vision when it comes to the Most High. You understand? And stick to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that, shalom, Israel.